Welcome to episode number 21 of the Blitz Take. I am here with Tyler Martin, who is a diehard Oklahoma Senior fan, and I'm excited to hear what his thoughts are on the season and everything football related. So, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex. Can I call you Alex, or do you prefer Alexander?
Alex.
All right, Alex. Thanks for having me, Alex.
Yep. My first question is, what were your thoughts on the first game of the season?
Well, I was actually blessed to be there. And also, I am born and raised in Oklahoma. And some of my first memories are waking up and my dad getting me in the living room to watch OU football. Both my parents are OU fans, and so I'm a Sooner born and Sooner bred. And when I die, I'll be Sooner dead. And so it was a dream for me to grow up and maybe be able to go there. And that became a reality. And I was able to be there as a student for multiple years. And I know how much Sooner Nation has passion for the university. So I know what game days were like. I showed up hours early because I know what Norman's like. So there was so much electricity in the air that Brent Venables has really brought back to Norman that hasn't been there for quite some time. And so to the people that weren't in Norman for the game, I promise, if you actually go to Norman on a game day right now, you'll see how much things are changing. It's absolutely amazing. Everything Brent Venables and the staff that he has put in place have started. Do you have another question about the day? I mean, I can tell you so much about the day because I got down there hours early and stayed late. You know what I mean? To experience the whole thing.
What was it like being down there before the game and then after the game?
Okay, so I showed up about 4 hours before kickoff and I started walking around campus. I wanted to go to all my old spots that I was a fraternity member. I went to my old fraternity and sorority row was absolutely so many people everywhere, you know, running from this place to that place. And then I went by my old dorms, and I mean, the whole campus was, you could just feel the energy in the air. It's like game day, finally. You know, we'd all been waiting for the Brent Venables era to start, you know, and see what changes he's going to make or try to make. But you know, I walked around campus and it was all great energy. I walked from my frat house all the way to the stadium. There was different tailgating events and all kinds of things going on. I mean, that's what I kind of want to point out is to the people that didn't get to experience it in person, they need to, because the energy is renewed in Norman. The fire has been lit by Brent Venables underneath Sooner Nation's behinds to show up and show out, and that's what they did. And so, you know, the game environment, you know, just with every new head coach at every university that's having to go through those kinds of transitions, Brent Venables and his new staff is also doing that. They're trying to bring in so many different things with NIL, transfer portal, all these different things that are affecting college football from the outside. I mean, they're having to navigate all that stuff at the same time, and that's very difficult to do. But I believe that Brent Venables went and hired a staff that is fully capable of doing that. Thank goodness.
So what are your thoughts on this Saturday's matchup against Kent State?
Okay. So Kent State, people look at them like Kent State because they're not a super powerhouse like OU, and they just write them off as an automatic win. No, Kent State has put 50 people in the NFL. Uh, Julian Edelman caught a lot of touchdown passes from Tom Brady in the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? So there's 50 guys been drafted or been to the NFL from Kent State, 42 of them drafted. So I mean, Kent State is not a university to slack off on. And I think what I'm excited about is that every week I believe there will be a different starting roster or depth chart, because what Brent Venables is saying is throughout the week of practice, the guy that comes most prepared is going to get the playing time. The guy that's the most consistent, that we can throw him in there and know what result we're going to get most likely. And so I love the way that they're rotating players in and out. I think that I think we'll beat Kent State handily. My prediction on the score would probably be roughly, I think we'll score at least 50 and hold them to less than 10. So I'll go with 50-10. That's just because I was there and I saw how elite this defense is going to be if they stay healthy and improve weekly, which I believe they'll be able to do, especially with the depth that we have in almost every single position group.
What do you think about your prediction for their record this year?
The record? Okay, so as I kind of spoke on, it kind of comes down to remaining healthy and building playing time and depth for our entire roster, which, I know Brent Venables and staff are going to make that a priority. Getting all these athletes that have never played for Oklahoma, which we lost 40% of last year's roster, and most of our staff. So almost half of, if you put them together, staff and players, almost half of these guys are coming in together brand new, And so I honestly think that that's kind of a good thing, because they're all coming in brand new and learning something new together. And I think it's really gelling the team. But as I'm saying, it depends on how healthy we stay. And really, it comes down to Dylan Gabriel. If Dylan Gabriel stays healthy all season, I see us going to the Big 12 championship, period. If he stays healthy. If he does not, it depends on how long, he's out or whatever. But if he's healthy all season, I see us going to the Big 12 championship and playing in a New Year's Six Bowl. And the record I'm going to predict is similar to last season's, 11-2. That's if Dylan Gabriel stays healthy, I believe we can achieve that even more as these other players progress. And if he doesn't stay healthy, if he gets hurt, I think we could be looking at a 8-9 win season. If Davis Bevel or General Booty have to step in, supposedly Davis Bevel has made himself the second string quarterback, but like I say, that's going to change for every position every week based on consistency and practice. That's going to change every week. So just because you started a season with a starting spot, that doesn't mean you'll have it next week. So that's my take on that, brother.
Yeah, my last question is, what players should I keep an eye out while watching OU this season?
I'm glad. That's a good question, man. So I wanna go with some players that have been put into a position to succeed where they weren't last year or previously. And then I'm going to talk about the young guys that are going to make a big impact. Okay. And so I'm going to start with, let's say, hold on, let me think. I mean, it doesn't really matter where I start, but I'll say that the youngins that are going to make an impact, I believe, this season are Jaden Gibson, wide receiver, 6'5", 190, out of Florida. Kid is an absolute stud and has been doing it all spring, all fall. I mean, if you look at this, what he's been doing has been amazing. Also, Rodney Anderson's little brother, Nick Anderson, he was a little bit injured for a little bit of camp, but he's should be good to go within the next couple of weeks. He's going to make a big impact. Of course, Marvin Mims, Theo Weiss, both of them, I think, are going to have 1,000 yards plus. Both of them, 1,000 yards plus. Braden Willis, if you saw the first game, he scored 2 touchdowns on I think 3 catches, and he has not been utilized to this point as well as I think they should have. And I think he's going to have a kind of breakout year. I think Marcus Major, now that he's finally healthy, he's going to have a breakout year if he stays healthy. And moving over to the defensive side, I think David Agwebu is, as a captain, going to make sure that he's keeping him and Danny Stutzman, I believe, are going to run the linebacker room. But Jaron Kanik, true freshman linebacker, that man is going to be, in my opinion, the next Brian Bosworth type linebacker at the University of Oklahoma. I really do think that. The man has out of this world athleticism. Defensive line, like breakout type player, Reggie Grimes and Ethan Downs are my biggest names there. I think both of them are going to terrorize offensive lines and quarterbacks all season, man. They're going to get them. They're going to get them. And Jeffrey Johnson in the middle, I think he's going to make some noise. And Jalen Redmond as well. They're going to make some noise on the interior defensive line. Miguel Chavez, the coach, has got those guys right. And Todd Bates. They've got them right where they need to be, I believe. And then we finally moved Billy Bowman to a set position. Last year, he was moving cornerback, safety, whatever, all over the place. And finally, we gave him one position. He had 21 total tackles last year, playing a lot of snaps. His first game of the season, he had 9 tackles. So they put him in a set position, and he's already almost matched half of his last season's tackles. You know what I mean? So now, and Key Lawrence and him are going to be dominating our defensive backfield. Justin Broyles. I mean, we're fine. We're really deep all over the field. And if people would actually do that, and Michael Turk, our punter, he's the best punter in the nation, in my opinion. He's going to win the Luke Ross Award. So we're good on every single part of the field. Special teams, offense, and defense. We're solid all over. So I could see us potentially being a dark horse. I don't think it'll happen, but like I said, potentially being a dark horse to be in the playoff. I could see it, but of course, I think Texas is very good. I think Nebraska and OU, I compare the two, Nebraska and Texas, or OU versus Nebraska and OU versus Texas. Rankings do not matter. It is a huge rivalry. Every game, no matter what, it's like a championship game, and it's going to be completely filled with a lot of excitement, a lot of fans. I'm excited about this season.
Thank you for the insight on OU football, and I can't wait to have you back on, maybe to recap a game or something.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you send me the link to watch this video, please.
Oh, I will. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.